As Tom said, I'm the director or the development manager of VDC at Kruse Smith. I'll take you through some of our history of 4D and how we think that we can use this tool in the future. So, something that we have done and something that we hope to do. So we can read more about this fantastic fiscal report on the internet. I'll show you, take you through a little movie of our 4D history. And of course, Martin, we did exactly as you told us not to do. We started with the Hollywood. This was a project that we really was going to win. It was a tough situation for us, and we said we're going to turn any stone to win this project. Everybody at the office was very, very excited about this new shiny tool that could really show the customer how good we are to build. My guess, well, of course we didn't win the job. I guess the client looked at this as the same way as you look on the wine list on the first day. You look on the right column, find something that you can afford, buy it. So we think that the client never saw this model, but everybody was very excited about the new possibility to really show us what we were going to build. The next job that we took on, or the next bit, was demolition or remake of the hotel. Everything based on interior work, not so easy to show a really good 4D visualization. So we came together with SYNCHRO, we came up with these tiles on the right, showing what's happening and showing the utilization of crews or resources put into each floor. Well, of course we didn't win. The next thing we did was actually, how are we going to use this? We used it to really compare alternative strategies for a small project. Got the project team on board, evaluating different strategies to see which one could fit the project most. This was a job that we had, so there was no competition, but that taught us something for the next project or the next bid that's coming up on the movie. That was a massive, again, a massive rebuild of the shopping center and offices, where we really modeled or worked on the 4D model to find the schedule that allowed us to keep the shopping mall open. It's very important to have the shopping mall open because that's my local Vinmonopolet. It's based there. So, but that really gave us the chance to really be sure that we could do this. We work with the client and show them different options. We show them an option where we closed down the mall, where we moved Vinmonopolet to another location, but ended up with a schedule that we believed in. And finally, we could use it and we won it. So that's the first bid that we have won due to using SYNCHRO. One of the key reasons. So, very excited. Thank you, John, sitting there. I haven't started the project yet, but we will. As another example, used in a meeting to trying to reduce the schedule for facade to come in earlier. This is the same schedule that the entire project team put together in collaborative planning. Everyone believed in it. This is the best plan. Facade started complaining we need to get in earlier. We played the movie, and together with the team, we managed suddenly notice that this facade is open or free 1 month earlier than expected. So again, a very easy way to make use of the 4D model. think there's one more showing the lowest hanging fruit. This is from our weekly meeting with the superintendent, showing a picture of last week, planned activities this week and next week. Very, very easy animations or pictures, but it has given a lot of value. So you don't need a $46 billion project to use this. Start using it in any project with any schedule that you have. Because most of you got a BIM model and schedule, I hope. Mike said, talking about this baby between Last Planner and BIM. Not sure if it's a baby, but we think it's a perfect match. We'll show you, well, in the stride that we have to combine these two, 4D and Last Planner, we have at the moment two parallel runs. One going for the 4D and one going to improve our use of Last Planner. Just a brief introduction on what we think of it. The plan is divided into levels, and you work on the plan and you commit to the task and you feedback what's done and the reason for not doing it, basically. We was in Las Vegas visiting a company called Brasfield and Gorey. So this is a good example of that justify the rule that everything happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So this is the exception. This is a picture from the site trailer. There was two guys in their 30s running the entire project from the GC. They were working in a market that they'd never been before, Brasfield and Gorey from Alabama. This is Nevada. Completely new set of stuffs. And the entire execution is completely analog. One of the members of our group walked into this room and said, this is actually immersing into the plant, to dive into the plant, standing in the room. So you have a look ahead schedule over here, and you have a weekly plan at the other side of the room. Very low tech. They even have cardboards of drawings to draw on, to explain in more in detail. They have these sticky notes, everything analog. I've never seen a site like this. This is a picture that we took on site. It looks like it's deserted. But I've never seen a clean site or a tidier site than this one. And it was, in my opinion, or as far as I know, the best executed project ever. So, trying to learn more about how we can implement Last Planner better in our execution plan. We played this simulation game. Don't know if anyone played it. It's all done by Lego. And you've got great drawings. Agree? Very good drawings. Explain exactly what you're going to do. There's coding for colors, and you have elevations, and you even have sections. Very good. Of course, we think that we could build a super fast because we are engineers and we love Lego, so this is no problem. Of course, it goes very wrong the first time. The next time you get this fancy background or drawing, construction documents. They even have colors. Wow. But thinking of it, well, of course it goes a lot better the next time we play with colors because you are better equipped to actually build. But thinking of it, this is from one of the projects that I showed you earlier. This is what we present the workers. And it looks very much the same as this one. Black and white, coded, different hatching to explain the different routes. So what if we had a bit? You could actually play this and show them, everyone, how are you going to build this round of exercise? probably the simplest 4D show today, but it really explains the way that you're going to build it in a totally different manner than the drawings. You can, of course, extract all the red ones if you are the red guy, and the blue ones. You can even pull out the materials that you need on the fourth floor, or the entire consumption of those bricks. You know all this. But I did run this demonstration for some students a couple of weeks ago, and since I'm so lazy, I asked them to do a workshop to tell us how to combine these two techniques. The first group of students came up with the same idea that we have thought of, having sticky notes with QR codes to link the activities to the sticky notes on the wall. We could use this to report, turn it around, have the tactile integration with the plan. Very good. I'll come to the next suggestion in a while. But thinking of it, how could we use 4D in that last planner system? We think that the first one shown where we found the facade, and as Mike also showed, doing sticky note planning, converted into SYNCHRO and use that to really get people on board. The next one is to bring up SYNCHRO in the look-ahead meeting to really actually work on the constraints in the meeting and use the model to really enrich for every step down there. And the weekly work plan needs to be in a collaborative, tactile way or something. The planners or the workers have to interact with each other in a social process, I guess. From what I've seen today, most of this is already in place. I think using the site application, we could do something that could really give us the feedback from site. But what I haven't seen so far, maybe some of you have seen it, but this is what we do with the look-ahead schedule. We pull it out to Excel. We have a formula symbolizing a formula around behind every constraint. So if you're missing one of the constraints, you are not a sound activity. We would love to have this in our planning system where we can work on the constraint directly, and maybe instead of just collaborating on saying and talking about the process, we could also say that to have the drawings in, you really have to attach the drawings to the activity. And that changes the state of the constraint, maybe. So, what if we, instead of sticky notes, could commit to sound activities by selecting objects in the 4D model, using an interactive board or a VR headset in a social collaborative process? What if we could simplify the view, showing this is the sound activity this week, and we could actually pick activities by selecting objects and drag them over to the calendar and plan it. Because thinking of it, the sticky note does not really add value to the process. It's just to symbolize that something going on for that trade on that day in that zone. Maybe you could also well, to combine the two, maybe you could have some colors, and you could definitely have the construction documents created directly so that when you ship everything to site, the construction document is actually there, connected to the activity that you are committed to do this week. That was the suggestion from the next group of students, which I'm coming back to next week. This makes my job a lot easier. So I think this is a pretty good idea. I'm not sure if it's possible, but my experience with field work is that all the workers out there just actually get just one build. So let's give them tools to build easier. And in return, if we set this up cleverly, if they can use a tool to build easier, they will give us back data on what they are doing day to day, which is the only way that we can really understand what's going on site. And of course, the purpose is always to build faster, cheaper, and better than we did before. And the only way to do that, I think, is to really understand what's going on and what did happen and what did not happen on site. So if anyone, you don't have to be a student, have a suggestion or comment or anything, please contact me. We'll love to discuss this and we'll love to figure it out together with you. So thank you for the attention.